But later in Seven's big league, Scott Palmer with all the news from around the grounds and the match everybody had their eyes on today, Fitzroy and the Sydney Swans.
And shortly, the game at Princes Park between Hawthorn and Footscray. But first, let's check on what happened round 15 in seasons past, as we say. A very good evening to Sandy Roberts.
Thank you, Peter, and welcome once again to On This Round. And if we were to go back in time and pick a round that was filled with action, then you'd find none better, really, than this one. First up, it was 1967. On this round that Richmond cemented its place on top of the ladder with a fine 20-point win over North. While Peter McKenna kicked 6 goals to bring up his 100 for the season against Fitzroy in only 15 games, Peter Hudson was kicking 12 straight in a remarkable performance against St Kilda. That was back in 1971. In 1975, Richmond put up one of the shoddiest goal-kicking performances on record, scoring only 2 from 22 scoring shots. Hawthorn had 2 more scoring shots, yet won the match by a whopping 62 points. 8,000 people were at Cardinia Park on this round in 1977, and they were treated to a goal-kicking feast. The potent trio of Hendry, Hudson and Matthews combined to score 23 goals between them as the Hawks cruised to a 107-point win. In 1979, it was only a point the difference when the two teams clashed again, this time at VFL Park. But again, it was to be a Hawthorn victory. Finally, in 1980, the Hawks were worn down. The Cats won by 80 points, thanks to 7 goals by Terry Bright, and moved into second place on the ladder. There was an interstate game as well as normal VFL fixtures in 1981, and Victoria gave Tasmania a hiding in Hobart. A youngster named Peter Dacos kicked 8 for the Vics. It was a day for the old-timers in 1982 on round 15. North's Gary Dempsey celebrated his 300th VFL game, while St Kilda 1966 Premiership hero Barry Breen did likewise against Footscray. St Kilda won its second game for the year in round 15 last year against Geelong. But for the Cats, Alan Mangles, it was a day he'd sooner forget. He was suspended for 4 matches for striking the Saints' Silvio Pescini. As I said, round 15, a round packed with highlights. Now back to more of today's highlights. Here's Peter.
Thank you, Sandy. And Sandy will be hosting the show next week as I'll be in Brisbane for the Davis Cup quarter-final between Australia and Italy.